Hello everybody, this is Brad from Johnson Small Engines. This is a Yardman LX. This is an older model of a tractor, and one of my customers is giving it to somebody else, and I don't think they've ever been on the tractor before, so we're going to kind of go over the machine. First thing you want to do before you run your machine is you want to check the oil, and that is right over here. And what this is you want to take it off, take out the dipstick, and we usually use a rag. You're going to screw this one in. It's a Briggs & Stratton engine. You do screw the cap in to check it and make sure that the level is in between the marks. This one is a little bit on the low side. We're going to put a little bit of oil in it for. You just want it between the dots. All right. Once you check the oil and this is okay to start, make sure you have fuel. It's something as simple as just checking the fuel tank. You can shake it. You can look inside. This one here has about a quarter tank in here. Air filter is right here. Air filter is okay on this one. You can just pull the little knob right here off and pull the cover off, and that'll give you the air filter. So basically we're ready to go now, and I am going to put a little bit of oil in for her, but at this point I just want to show you how to run it. Okay, close the hood. When you get on the machine, we have a lot of different knobs on this one. You have your emergency brake and clutch is one pedal. All right, so this is the brake and the clutch. So when you get on the machine, the first thing you want to do is you want to push the clutch in all the way down, and over here on the right hand side is the variable speed transmission drive lever. It's a lot long term for that. Variable speed transmission drive lever. This basically goes from 1 to 7, and you have a park. Now when you start the machine up, I recommend always putting it back in park. That's all the way back. Now my foot was depressed on the clutch / brake pedal, so you can move this. If my foot was not depressed on this pedal, this is the brake clutch pedal, I have it down right now, you would not be able to move this easily. All right, so it's in park, so I can release my foot now, and it's in park. It's ready to start. We have one other gear shift lever. It's actually a 2-speed transmission. We have neutral, we have forward, and we have reverse. You just have to make sure you're in neutral, which we are, and then you can start your machine. As far as starting it goes, we have a key switch here, headlights. I don't even think these headlights work on here, but it doesn't really matter. You have your choke on the other side, your choke lever, and you have your throttle. The choke you need to use when you start the machine. So you pull the choke out. When it chokes all the way out, I usually throttle up a little bit, but not on full speed, because it's not really good to start an engine at full speed, especially when it's cold outside. So a little bit up off of low speed, chokes out, then you want to crank it. So just let me cover the bases here. We have the brake on, we have the choke out, we have the throttle up just a little bit, we have it in neutral, and we're ready to crank it. So now this should crank. If it cranks, I'm going to turn it on, I'll shut it off so we can talk, but as soon as it starts up, you push the choke back in again. In the spring and the fall, when it's really cold outside, you may need to leave this out a little bit to warm it up, or it may just shut off on you. You may need to use this a little bit just to get the engine warmed up a little bit, and then you can push it back in again, but you don't need much. Okay, runs real well. So what we want to do after that point is you want to get ready to mow. All right, so you're going to come around to this side again, and we're going to show you that this machine actually this is the height for the mower deck, and this is also the engagement for the mower deck. As you can see, and this is important too on startup that I did not go over, but on startup, this must be in the up position, which it is now, okay? So you have to start with this handle in the up position. This is blade engagement and blade height, all right? So as soon as you pull this out and then down, it actually engages the belt, it engages the blade, and it also lowers and higher your deck height. It's a little bit strange, it's a real old model, and it works just fine. So when you're ready to stop the mower, bring it back all the way up, and you do have to use a little bit of muscle, because it does take a little bit of muscle to get this thing to go back up in the stop position. Basically, you're moving the whole deck forward, which in turn loosens the belt and stops the mower deck. All right, so when you're ready to mow, you still are in park, so you want to take it out of park, but what you have to do to get it out of park easily is you make sure your foot is down, depressed on the clutch. Push the clutch down, I just did. Then I can move it out into first. You can start in first, let the clutch up, and then you can variate this with your foot and the handle together at one. You kind of have to use your weight on your foot to make it easier to go forward and then backward as you're using your clutch pedal / brake, it'll make it easier. You'll get used to it when you start driving it. You'll understand what I'm saying. But you just move this backward and forward, and you can go backward and forward just by varying this, and just adjust your speed. That's all it does. But before you go, I'm kind of going in backwards here. You do have to put it into drive. All right, so let's just go back to park. You have to go to your shifter in the center. There's 2 speeds, forward and reverse, and neutral. All right, so before you go, you have to put this into a gear. All right, so we're gonna put it in forward gear right now. Now, sometimes these don't just go into gear. Sometimes they're a little bit stiff, and you kind of have to feather it with the clutch, which means that you have to kind of let the clutch pedal up a little bit, and these things will just kind of click in, and that's after you get this thing out of park. All right, but it is in forward gear right now. We most likely can start it as long as it's in park. We should be able to start this. So what I'm going to do is, since we are in forward, which I don't recommend putting it in forward until it runs, I'm going to start the tractor now. I'm going to try to, and if it starts, we're going to start it, and I'm going to put it in first, and I'm going to let my foot out, and you'll see me roll a little bit, and then I'm going to stop. So I'm going to start it back up again, see if it'll start in forward. It probably should. Okay, now I'm going to just put it in the first. We're in forward. I'm going to let my pedal up. Go. Alright, so now move it in 1 gear. Alright, all you have to do is variate this forward by pushing your pedal down a little bit and then moving this forward, and then it'll go faster and faster. Now, when you want to go in reverse, like I do right now, you can leave the actuator in whatever speed it is. I recommend definitely going back down to second or first. My foot is on the clutch pedal, it's pressed in. I'm going to throw this back into reverse. Okay, now right now it won't go in gear. The reason why is because I have to let my foot up a little bit to get the belt to move a little bit to get this thing to go in. So I'm going to lift up my foot right now, and it just clicked in. So you have to kind of get used to that. It's just the way they work. Now we can go reverse. Same scenario. We have it. We can go faster this way too. Alright, just put the park brake on, put it in neutral, park brakes on, we're good. We can get off the machine, and like that. Now when you go to mow, you have to take this out and then down. I'm not going to do it because I'm in my shop. Shut this off so you can hear me. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put this down and engage it because you won't be able to hear me, but it does work. And when you're ready to go forward and you have your gear set up, that's when you put this down and you find your height wherever you want it. There's a couple different notches here. You can put it wherever you want. I would definitely recommend high and then go down from there each notch, and then it'll stay running. But when you want to turn off your mower deck, just remember, pull it all the way back up. Now, I hope I didn't confuse you with a little bit of going from this to this, but basically I just wanted to show you how to run your machine. You can check this out, rewind it if needed to just go over it a couple times. That's pretty much it. Main thing is, make sure it's in park, make sure your oil's up on check, make sure you have a full tank of gas, and neutral. Make sure your blades are disengaged all the way back, and you should be good to go. All right, thanks for watching.